Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz,
And I'm Tina Lokkbakk. Welcome to Retired.
the podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure. And I have to say, Tina, this adventure is interesting because this is the first time we're recording in the evening.
At the same time. Because I recorded
Well, yes,
from
of course.
Norway, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm
So
okay.
for you, it's a first.
Okay, for me, it's a first. I'll take that. And what are you
So-
drinking?
Well, I was going to chop into you first. I think that this should be titled, That's Life. That's what
Life.
people say.
Okay.
Shall we break into song?
I don't know the song that you want me to sing.
Oh, that's life. That's what people say. I think it used to be in a commercial, Sue. You know this song.
It's not ringing a bell. Ring
well,
my bell.
Which was once a porn song.
That's creepy, but I could see that. Okay,
Yeah.
which brings me back. What do you have
Yeah.
in a cup? Is it a cuppa? What are you drinking?
I'm having jasmine green tea.
Lovely. I just had some delightful Pinot Noir.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is also a first for me. Actual recording, having had a couple glasses
under
of
the
wine.
influence?
Well, I don't know if I'm under the influence, but I've had a couple of glasses of wine, so
Oh,
nothing wrong with that.
no, I see peace all over your face.
Well, it's because, okay, hello. It's not even peace. I am so tired because last night I was pretty much awake. Since graduation time, graduation from college, graduation from high school, all that stuff, there have been fireworks. And they're off and on. And then we've had, of course, 4th of July and then 4th of July weekend. And we're on, so Sunday, last night was still 4th of July weekend. And, when there are fireworks going off and they're not just like little nice, friendly fireworks. This is
Pop up.
boom, boom. Okay. Our poor dog, she just trembles. She pants. She's just in a panic. She's an old dog. She's 12. She's, so she's terrorized by this. And so I was awake last night with the dog, giving her a massage, rubbing her, sitting with her, turning the TV on so she can't hear the stuff, and then they'd shoot him again, and then yeah. So anyhow,
It starts all over. It's like a reset, probably.
so I'm just tired. That's all. Poor dog friend.
And not to mention, you drove all the way to San Francisco and back today.
I did, but that's fine. And the traffic actually turned out to be okay. Went and picked up a friend from the airport, and it was great to have a little chit chat in the car on the way back. So that's always good.
I think it's just miraculous that you didn't sit in a traffic, a parking lot that moves.
Well, a lot of the times that's how it is, but the timing was about right. So yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Do I hear our friend Gigi?
No, that would be one of the multitudes of cabins that are visiting for this celebration period with their dog.
Ah, the
And we've had
Airbnb stuff.
multiple dogs.
Is that Airbnb?
So, yep.
Okay.
And one thing I was very firm about when I rented my house here as an Airbnb, I wanted everybody to bring a pet because to me, what's a vacation to the mountains if you don't bring your dog? And I have since learned that I don't know how much the dogs love it when they're left behind in a cabin that they're unfamiliar with.
Right.
And then I hear these dogs like barking like crazy because they're not knowing where they are and if their owners are coming back or what's going on. And so all of you thinking about bringing your dog with you, it's lovely in theory, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the kindest thing to do, just based on their voices.
Well, we're
And
talking
there
about
have been many.
the stress of the poor dog friends. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tina, we had a suggested topic for today, but it sounds like we're not going to be doing it because I've only had hints and glimpses of what's going on with your plan, your business plan and its counterpart in Havana. So can you bring us up to date?
Well, do I start on the American soil end or do I start on the Cuban soil
Okay,
end?
so I will just say, if you start on the American side, I have a whole lot to say about what's going on here besides your stuff. So maybe just start on the Havana side.
Okay. So, after many, many months, years now, we have been taking apart this 57 Chevy so that we can run this tour business with our own car that's not government run so that we can do the right thing with the people that we bring to Cuba and have an incredible experience in a 57 Chevy, redone, completely remodeled. And to back everybody up, it started with we were just going to do the interior because the exterior looked just fine. It was beautiful. But when we took the seats out for the reupholstery, which was the only thing we were going to do, there started with a hole over the fender in the back. And as the flooring was lifted, the trunk flooring cover was lifted, and the metal shiny thing that was between the seat and the car was lifted.
The metal shiny thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's my technical term. It was truly a car that had been Swiss cheesed.
Mm.
And then we went to her friend who was a welder, but a very rough welder. And after time, we realized this was going to take forever and it was going to be very piecey, like too many pieces to fix the Swiss cheese.
Right.
So we found someone else who seemed very competent, was referred by a friend of a friend, and we thought he was the man. And as each month has passed and each year has passed, we've learned that he was never quite so honest. He had taken up a job, and we found out from our friend of a friend, Gigi,
That is Gigi. Okay.
that he was working part time at a bakery. So every time Maria showed up and he said he was eating lunch late, or this happened, or that happened, or he wouldn't return calls, we had suspicions, but then it was confirmed he had been working another job the whole time. And the part that's wrong about it is that he had agreed a year ago that it would be done, which is when I took my guest friend Dave, who was going to be with us, to take pictures. And it ended because we went to go get paint. That's how done it was supposed to be. But the paint place did not sell the paint without the owner being there, and he was gone. So we had to leave because we had all these working commitments. So in November, Maria decides to go back. And for whatever reason, all the multitudes of excuses, it now just got painted.
Okay, so let me back up a tad here. So this is a dude who just didn't tell you, "Hey, I have this other job. I can't complete this job." Instead, he's kind of hiding it so that it's not clear and let kind of playing both sides as he goes. He doesn't want to lose this job.
Correct.
All right. So, how did the paint job work out this weekend?
Well,
What color, by the way?
well, we had waited so long and things are difficult to get on the island that the sparkly candy apple red that we wanted was no longer available to us. So we got like a deep, dark, metallic-y sort of red, like a, what do you call it? Not effervescent.
I don't know.
It's not like a sharp,
Phosphorescent?
what is it?
Phosphorescent?
No, that's the ocean. Well, it's an essence. So we got an essence paint. Wow. Um, Friday night, he drove it home to Maria's house. And instead of saying, I am so sorry, I have failed you, I will fix it, he pretended that Maria was stupid enough to not notice what I will explain in just a minute. So, a real decent person with integrity would have apologized before he even arrived. Instead, he said, "Hey, I'll be there on Monday to put it all together," as if she couldn't see it. So, what is the it? For everyone that knows, when you paint your fingernails and it's wet and you go to bed, you get sheet imprints.
Mm.
And for whatever reason, and we're not talking the size of a fingernail, we're talking the size of a foot by 2 feet areas where it looks like you, I don't know, got dust that landed in it and made it rough, or that it had a sheet imprint. I don't know. It's too hard on a WhatsApp to get that much of a detail, but let's just say I could see it on a lousy WhatsApp connection. And the thing that we finally came and connected it to, this man was never a painter. I think he told us he was a painter and that he was capable of doing the job. And now, in retrospect, that's why he didn't really want to do metallic. He tried to convince us we should get the regular paint because there's a lot more that goes into an metallic paint job. So after all of this, and I was going to go actually and take pictures and do the final parts to the website, and that's a whole other thing we'll get to. That's why I thought, do we start with the state's end, because that's another loophole, but we'll get to that in a minute when you're ready. Perhaps we should both go get a glass of wine at intermission. Anyway, so she said nothing to him and drove to his work today. He drove it on Friday and let him have it and said, "I know you've been working at a bakery. You've lied to me all along. I am not an idiot. How do you expect that this would be an okay paint job? We're done. You're not touching this car and it's over." And instead of, that's when he said, "But I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me fix it." And she said, "You don't understand. For this time that you have been promising us, I have not been working. And I have given you the grace and the kindness and the respect, knowing that you have not been honest with us. In fact, all the materials, when we left, we had left a certain amount of money to pay him when it was painted. We had bought the materials before we left. And you know what? She had to go back multitudes of times to go get more supplies. And she realized, and by the way, sir, I know that you have been using our paint and all the materials on other people's cars
Yeah.
because you painted at least mine 3 times over, but never got to mine. So I know what's been going on. I've never been the idiot, but we just wanted it done. So we're done." So that was it. And today she started getting it assembled. So the hope is that within a week or so, she will have it assembled and will be flying home with an imperfect car in the garage. And she will try and take pictures from the correct angles, and we will figure out how to fix it with a proper painter at a later time. And she's sick. I'm sick. It's been sick. And the worst is that we have gone to look at these cars that are so perfect down there. We've had this fantasy that we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be parking next to the top of the line, the creme
Right.
de la creme. And now we would be like parking there. And as long as you hit it at the side angle, we could be proud to have that car. But if somebody were to walk to the back or to the front, we'd have to stand there and block the view. Like, I don't think they'd allow us to go with the finest of the fine at this point. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And if here, I get what you're saying thoroughly. I'm not a car person, so even though that's our metaphor, for retired, yes. Um, but I'm saying as long as the car functions well,
It does.
and and it's
And the
got
interior will be amazing.
and it's old fashioned, it's kind of cool, and it looks like crap on the outside. It's got its that's its je ne sais quoi. That's its character, and and yes, until you can get it the way you want it, it's going to be the armadillo or whatever it is you want to call it. I don't know, but it's going to get you around and it's going to do all the things you need to do. I mean, to have a functioning car on the island is a big deal. So
Huge.
yeah, so right there is a win-win-win. And we're talking, this is hmm, one of the other challenges that you're dealing with is the relationship of our country right now
Yeah,
with Cuba. And
that's what
so
I was.
you've already, using our metaphor again, backed all the way up and kind of looked at how you can promote this from the Norwegian point of view, the European point of view, and keep it moving forward. So I think, that could be part of the story. That's part of the story of this company that you're running. It's the story
The reality,
yes,
actually.
of Cuba itself in dealing with its
Wow.
own history, the history and the interaction with the United States, the history and interaction with other countries. This is part of the story.
Wow. When you put it like that,
I think people get it. Cuba is,
yeah,
it's
maybe
not
they
like,
would.
yeah, it's not like talking like some little city here in California, whatever, and saying, oh, no, no, this is, people understand, people of our generation, we get with the Bay of Pigs and all that, and the near nuclear annihilation that we had, and the fears and the embargo and all this stuff, and the Cuban people who came and settled in our country, especially in Florida, and established and grew a lot of who we are. This is an ongoing history, and they understand that the resources on that island. I mean, people who live on an island understand resources are limited and they're expensive, and so if you got something that's working, that's a win-win.
And it looks good enough, at least from a distance. Everyone will go, wow, look at
Okay,
that beautiful car.
and eventually can get there.
It's
So
just the up close. If you lean up
yeah,
against the hood
I
or we put
know
things in the trunk.
it's got to be horribly disappointing, and you feel ripped off, and you feel
Yeah,
disappointed,
betrayed,
betrayed. Yeah,
disrespected.
all that stuff. And this is where you
Maybe
are.
that is part of the story.
Yeah,
And maybe that's what that might be the most interesting. Thank
yeah.
you. I feel about 20% better.
Okay. That's kind of,
I mean, I'll take it.
you're in Breaking Bad and they let you off on the desert and they say, kick you out of the car and they say, this is where you are. So this is where you are.
Oh,
You're not Breaking Bad. You are just, the poor thing needs a little facelift. So yeah, if it's working well, that's amazing. What year did you say this car is?
it's a 57 and everything on
57.
it is original. That's the beautiful part. Like, and the chrome has been redone, like the interior has been redone. And you're right, as a whole, this is not the worst thing.
Okay.
It's just, I think we're so invested in this
All right. It's
thing.
a 68-year-old car. 68 years old. It's a
Yeah.
57, 68. So in another couple years, maybe it'll have a little rejuvenation and kick it back in there. But it's
You're
she's
right.
she's doing well. Does she have a name, by the way?
Well, in this case,
It was based on the color, right?
he does have a name,
Okay.
and it's kind of a very emotional thing for Maria too. She's had a kind of her father passed away, and this was his love. Like,
Hmm.
his passion, his freedom, his joy, and he babied this thing. Like, he washed it every day. I mean, he probably talked to the car too, I'm
Hmm.
sure. And so I came up with the name because I named them all. And her dad's name was Jorge, but she called him Pipo. So I call it Jorge Pipo, and then for short I call it JP.
All right.
So JP is his name.
A little people. All right.
Yeah, Pipo.
So there's another side to it, the American side.
The American side, and I think I don't know what's worse. So I asked my neighbor if she could take care of Gigi so I can go and take pictures and finish things up over there. And she sent me this notification that I had to look up. But did you know that Trump has put more sanctions onto Cuba because
Yes.
trying to help them become more tolerant of free speech and internet access.
Hmm.
So he's sanctioning them, even though they're starving, which is why I'm so much more committed than ever to getting people over there to see what is happening. And the part that got me into terror was the $250,000 fine if you get caught going as a tourist.
Right.
Now, my friend and neighbor is very, very conservative, and I thought this can't possibly be correct. But of course, as we now know, the crazier it may seem, probably the more accurate it is. And in fact, it is true.
Well, I was sending you stuff too, wasn't I? I mean, I told you stuff's yeah. And
Yes.
he just can invent a number and the
Yes.
sky's the limit and shit hits the fan and everyone pays except him and all the rich people. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. No.
Well,
And so it is too concerning for you to go.
well,
And
no,
and the other question
this
is,
is the
well,
thing.
the other
Yeah.
thing, Tina, I'm sorry. The other thing is about you coming back. You take that as a given.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not.
So here was my thinking because Maria was calming me down. And yes, I got it from you too. And that's when I knew this was real. It wasn't just. Anyway, she reminded me, and she was incorrect. So I will now give you all a history lesson. In 1950, when it did become a communist nation under Castro, she said at that point tourism ended. That's when America said no more. That is incorrect. It wasn't until 1963 that tourism has been banned, and it has never been lifted. So the difference between then and now is the $250,000 fine. And along the way, there became different reasons why you could go or not go. And it's been very lax because there are 12 reasons, of which everything in the business and why I go there makes it legal, which would be for me the heritage tours to connect people with family, philanthropy for to support the Cuban people, and education. So if I go by those 12 standards, those apply. However, as you just said, what was concerning to me is, as we talked about last week, I don't trust, like you said, that when I got to the United States of America, that some person in the position of authority could negate things or twist things or, oops, by the way, it changed even though our website said it's these 12 things. It's
Yep.
since changed since you were over there and now they no longer apply. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust that what is in place will be upheld. So it was more the concern that things would change because if you look under our government website, the 12 reasons to go still stand. However, we know that within a blink of an eye,
Things change.
websites disappear.
Right.
Websites get changed.
Language changes.
So that was my concern.
And
that perhaps
the assumption of being able to come back is a whole nother thing.
I just can't imagine not, because my parents were legal aliens.
You are
and
an
I was
anchor
born
child.
here.
You're an anchor child.
So I would assume that.
Don't assume things. You know what they say when you assume.
They were not citizens. They were only legal residents.
That's right. You're an anchor child.
Right. So perhaps you're right. We shall see. But that in itself was a big stress. So this whole thing, this last few days has been extremely exhausting. You know, to go, to not to go. Am I going to get fined? Am I not going to get fined? I do believe that it's a scare tactic to make sure that people like us, or not us, but other people that know nothing about Cuba and have never traveled there, will be sure not to.
Yeah, it is. It is a scare tactic, and it's been going on for a long time. Not just with him, but the reality is right now it's a whole unknown, and the scare tactic can in 1 second turn from just trying to scare
Yes.
you into a reality where you're
Yes.
thrown into a prison or taken leave of this country and put in El Salvador prison or whatever it might be. Yeah. And we can joke all you want or whatever. You got to really weigh those options. So here's the thing. It's been a hard week for
Wait, hold
you.
on. Can we breathe?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
I think it's important to take time, take a breath, and really think about what needs to be done and what it's not a matter of what could be or what might be best or whatever. It's but rather, is it worth that investment of yourself and your time and
I
your
know.
resources and everything right now, or is there are there other options and what might those be? And I have to say, I'm really sorry for the shit. I mean, the shit on both ends. I mean, it's bad enough this paint job you've been waiting for and the scam on that end, and then having to deal with just the rational reality of trying to be normal here, in our time. It's crazy. It's wrong, and I'm sorry that you're having to go through this because I mean, what else is there to say other than I hear you, I see you, and I'm
Thank you.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been this dream for so long. Like Maria wasn't even available to do anything about it till 2022. And I quit teaching in the fall of 2021. So that was just a wasted year. And then now we're going into our third year,
Yeah.
and with all these complications. And, you ask yourself, is it a sign from God? Is this just toughening me up? Is it making me more committed? So
I think
as
it's
it's,
it's it's making you more committed to yourself, your endeavor, your business, and making all of us more committed to standing up and not worrying. Well,
Mhm.
considering scare tactics, but also standing up. I think that's where we are. What? Okay, brainstorming. You're going back to take pictures. Do you have to take those pictures?
No. And I think that's what we've talked about. I think that the decision is she needs to come home.
Hmm.
She is broken. She is beaten. She is in need of coming home. So that's what we're going to do is get her home.
That's excellent.
So at this point, I don't think, I think that if I were to come and stay, it's not going to be joyous either because she's burned out. She is done. And what we look at it is the sooner we get making money, however that looks, then the sooner we can get back there. We will at that time be refreshed to start anew, to fix this thing. Or, as you've now just kind of got me thinking, perhaps not. Perhaps this is part of the story. And we take people to these various places that we have spent so much time and meet these people, minus that man. Or maybe we will. We'll visit him at the bakery.
Oh, jeez.
So you're right. This might actually be the thing that's just a story.
Well, it is a good story. I mean, it's a sad, horrible, wrong story, but it's a story.
What is in the best interest of us both is for her to go with her friend in the outfit in a great spot, have the pictures taken. Doesn't have to be a lot, just one by the ocean, one by the other fancy cars, and then get home.
Sounds
So,
good.
yeah,
Sounds great.
yeah. And in the meantime, I'm still studying Norwegian to get my dual citizenship every day.
There we go. I love it.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening. Now let's pack up this week's episode in the trunk.
Ride shotgun and be a part of our adventure by clicking on the plus sign to subscribe and follow our show. This will help our ratings and, more importantly, inspire us to keep creating fun and engaging content. We would love to hear from you in the comments sections or email us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. Use the fast track lane by sharing episodes with friends, family, and anyone who would like to join us on a road trip through retirement.
Be sure to check the show notes for links and contact information. Retired is chauffeured by Sue Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Sue Britz. Music and graphics are by me, too. Buckle up and tune in next week so you won't miss your chance to join our retired road trip.